Yep. See, there it goes again. Son of a bitch.
Oh
I don't know.
man.
I was impressed with the computers they had during the Apollo era. So what the hell should I be talking about?
Well,
Mm.
sometimes simpler things are better. Although, I don't know. I don't know if they were better back then or not.
They
But
were bigger.
Google's taken this crap away. Like you can't do Hangouts live anymore. They still do have Hangouts, but you can't broadcast them on YouTube anymore.
I know. What was their reasoning for that?
I don't know because it's not as though it was uncommonly used. I see people using it all the time. It's like if you want a basic no frills stream, like you're just trying to talk to a person live on
Hmm.
YouTube, it was the best system there is.
Hmm.
Uh, because it was just you didn't have to have anything fancy. Just do a hangout and click a button. That's it. You didn't have to have any software or anything special.
Mm-hmm.
But they've done away with that.
Can't make things too easy, can they?
I never understand like taking features away. I understand if it's like maybe even build software where you're like, this isn't used to the degree that we were hoping or expecting. All right, we'll just leave it. Like, why delete it? You know, somebody is using it. Why would you delete it entirely, even if you're going to move on to put your resources into other things? Who knows?
Hmm.
Mm. Well, Shapiro pissed me off again on Friday.
No, what do you do now?
He denounced the guy that walked into Walmart with an AR-15, and
I'm going to mention that tonight, but that case is really odd.
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
did
there's
you
lots of funny shit about it.
did you
Well,
see
it doesn't
the
seem clear at all that his intent was ever to threaten.
right? That's my
Even
problem.
though it is like, come on, dude, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah,
it seems like he's legally protected, but it does seem really dumb.
it's one of those. That's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out
Yeah,
for him.
don't do
Yeah.
that, dude. Just don't. I mean, again, I'm not saying I'm anti-open carry laws or anything. It's just like
Well-
he says he was trying to test his right to bear arms or whatever. Just maybe the day after isn't a great day to wear body armor and carry a rifle into Walmart. Like,
No,
Did
the
you-
timing was way off.
Yeah. Did you see the link that I sent you in Twitter? It's
No, what'd you say?
It's caught fire now. A bunch of people are starting to do it. There's one carrying in McDonald's, one at a grocery store, a group of people.
Yeah, they're just gonna fuck it up for the rest of us.
I
Hey.
know because they're gonna
I'm,
prompt the.
I'm all about
yeah.
this, honestly. You
Hmm.
gotta,
Well,
you
look,
gotta
I understand where
normalize
you're
it.
coming. I understand where you're coming from and all this other stuff, but I don't. It's like a lot of things in this world. I don't think people are ready for it right at this moment. And if you push it too hard, you end up losing all the ground you gain.
Yeah, fair.
I mean,
I
that's
just I'm not even anti-open. Like, I have no desire to open carry personally, and I think tactically and just as a gesture of courtesy, I don't think it's super wise to like open carry in Walmart or whatever. I don't want laws against it, but there has to be some personal judgment on this sort of thing. Is there not?
Well, if
That's
you're going
that's
to
on an
open
individual
carry
basis.
and you're going to be in full tactical body armor with a dozen magazines, you're going to have to expect that people are going to pull fire alarms when you walk into a crowded place because they have absolutely no way of knowing that you're a good guy. And you've got to understand that somebody like me, if I'm out in the parking lot, and I'm probably going to sit there and say, "No, you wait until the police come, buddy." There's just too many crazy things have happened in this world. And I will go to jail over this, but too many crazy things has happened in this world when people
Yeah.
wearing full body armor and carrying a whole bunch of ammo walk into a Walmart. I mean, I'm sorry, it just
I
the odds of me sitting there saying, "Oh, this is safe and it's wonderful and fluffy bunnies," are not in my favor. I'd rather err on the side of caution.
Did he ever? This kid, he just carried the rifle the whole time. He never raised his rifle or anything like that.
No.
No,
never.
I don't think he did.
Well, and then that's my thing too. Look, if you want to know if somebody's a threat, rifle drawn, pistol drawn, that's how you know. If it's holstered or if it's slung on their back, don't worry about it. Apparently, they don't have any intent of any kind.
Well, it depends on the type of sling they're using.
I wonder how I wonder how I'd react. Let's say I was at Walmart in town. I would definitely. I'm not saying I'm drawing on that guy, but I'm getting the hell away from him.
Oh yes, exactly.
Like,
That's
I-
fair.
Yeah, I'm
Get the
not
family
hanging
out of there.
Yeah. Because these things are kind of tricky. It's like I don't know. I just don't have an appetite for this kind of quote unquote trolling. That's what this kid says he was doing, sort of. I don't know if he's trolling, but like, I just want to see what I can get away with. Well, if it's just like for the lulz, I have less sympathy for it. If there's no principled reason behind what he's doing, or maybe there is. Did he say anything else?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. It's also kind of part of the social contract. We can, it's, I don't know. This is a tough one, I'll be honest. I no arguments on this end that it's a tough moral and philosophical thing, but I got to be honest. If I'm sitting in Walmart, and I don't care if the rifle's slung over your shoulder, if you're wearing body armor, and you've got a bunch of magazines, I'm going to err on the caution and get the hell out of there. I'm probably going to pull a fire alarm, and if I leave and you follow me out in the parking lot because you think there's a fire and you're just happen to go in the same direction with me, I'm going to assume you're following me with foul playing hard.
Sure.
And if I get to my car and you're still following me, and I start the engine and you're still following me, then all of a sudden everything goes out the window after that point. I'm like, no, that's just, that's at the point where I'm like, no, we're just going to have to, we're going to have a serious discussion about what's going on. But
what would you call that? A truck of defense?
Is there Not
yeah,
that
I
I'm
think that would be
the most well versed in the arguments or anything. Is there a like a tactical argument for open carry? Are there people
more readily accessible? But yeah,
is it that much more
though? No, I mean,
well, the reason given in Arizona was that a lot of times the guys would come in from the this goes back to the late 1800s, early 1900s. The guys would be coming in from the ranch and come into town, and they would just forget that they were carrying.
Yeah.
And the only reason, because when I was in Kingman, when I lived there, open carry state, the only time you really saw it was when somebody was coming in from their farm or their ranch.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll see someone open carrying a handgun around here, but it's pretty rare. I have seen it on rare occasion.
Yeah.
And
I've never seen anyone open carrying a rifle in town in all my days.
Yeah. And as for the comment that you made that this is kind of the societal acceptance, what was it you said?
Social contract.
Social contract.
Yeah.
It seems to have gone in the wrong direction. So when something goes in the wrong direction, you have to pedal it back.
Actually, I don't think so, because if you actually look at it historically, most people did not walk around town carrying a rifle. Most people did not walk around. Actually,
they did.
yeah, no. It was people owned firearms. But when you were going, if you lived in Philadelphia in the late 1780s or whatever, or right around the time of the Revolution, and I'm not talking when the Revolution was going on, I'm talking during a time of normal peace, you were in a well-established city that had been around for a couple of hundred years. When you were going from your home to your place of business or whatever, you didn't carry your rifle with you. You generally didn't go armed, because the assumption was that there was going to be enough warning that you could get back to your home and grab your musket. You would carry it if you were going hunting. Now, if you were going hunting after work, of course, you'd probably carry it with you, or something of that nature. But most people, if you walk through Philadelphia of the 1790s, 1800s, you would not see everyone with a musket in their hand walking up and down the streets. It would be very rare.
No, it was different in New Orleans.
on the other side of this one, too, from what I was reading, this kid has been charged with a terrorism charge.
Yeah, that's a little extreme.
Which does seem over the top to me. Like, he didn't, as far as I've seen, he did not issue any threat but for the fact that he was carrying the rifle. Mm-hmm. Which, I agree. Like, I'm going to be on edge a little bit, but is that a just charge? Like, are you do you want to live in the world where being armed is considered a terroristic threat that'll put you in jail?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're progressing in the wrong direction. We need to pedal back and get more used to the idea of people being armed.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I just don't know that.
Maybe not the best way to go about it.
I don't like having non-objective standards. This one just comes down to like a "come on, man" sort of standard. Like we just had the Walmart.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Just come on, man, about this one and just chill out for a second. I don't think he's a terrorist, though. At least I don't think he deserves to get a terrorism charge.
I just don't think he's very bright.
Yeah.
By the way, Matt, I had to call the ATF the other day, just so you know.
Huh?
I had to call them for the 5320.20 form.
What's that?
Transport of NFA items
Oh,
across state
yeah.
lines. I'd sent it in months ago, and I haven't heard anything. And I called them. They're like, "Well, you can try to send it to this email,
Oh,
and we'll try to
God.
get it approved
What a joke,
before your
dude.
trip."
This stuff
I
is
know.
so
It's
dumb.
like,
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, at least that
Oh, my
the
goodness.
suppressors are exempt, right? You can carry suppressors.
suppressors are, but I couldn't bring the PS90. I couldn't bring the Scorpion.
Yeah, that sucks.
Well, I mean,
oh, that's a bummer, Greg.
what's
Can
Montana's
you
deal
can't
with that?
reconfigure them?
Am I what?
That's a good question. Like, could you make them a non-NFA configuration to do it? Let's say I put a 16
No,
inch
because
upper on
it's
my
still
SBR.
already registered as an NFA item.
Oh my god! So if I made that SBR into like a regular 16 inch AR, I
Yeah.
still can't take it across
Yep.
state lines.
Okay, well, here's the other thing
That's
too.
nonsensical.
Hold on.
Well,
From what you've said, Montana doesn't care if you make new machine guns, right?
Correct. Only
So-
the ATF does.
Okay.
Only
So
the feds do.
if you would bring it, as long as it's not an ATF agent, nobody will probably care.
The state of
Josh.
Montana doesn't.
I don't
give
know
a
if you
shit.
want to.
But
I don't know if you
there
want
are
to play
ATF
the gambit,
agents
but
around here. I've not dealt with them, but talking to people, there are ATF agents. They are hanging out. It's not as though they're extinct in this state.
Right.
no.
I mean, it's not Montana that I'm worried about. It's
all the rest.
like Colorado, Kansas,
No.
or
Plus, you're going to be driving through national park as well, and they, I mean, insofar as they are federal agents, they likely would care about some of that stuff.
yeah, that's why I'm going to be driving 10 miles an hour under the speed limit.
Was this like a short barrel rifle or an actual automatic weapon or a silencer?
2
We're talking about
SBRs and like 3 or 4 suppressors that I'm going to be bringing, but the suppressors are exempt. It's the
Okay.
SBRs
Yeah,
that I care
yeah.
about.
Yeah, see, and that also varies on a state-to-state level because, like here, owning a silencer in Iowa is not a problem at all. Loading a short-barreled rifle, you can't.
Right. It's
And
mainly has to
it's-
do with transport. So
sure.
it's transporting out of the state. So, for instance, if I'm going to Colorado and I want to take my SBR with me, even though SBRs are legally allowed there,
Yep.
I'd
You gotta
have
have
to
a
get
good boy
permission from the
permission slip.
ATF
Yeah.
in order to transport across state lines. Otherwise, I'm in big doo-doo.
Well, that sucks.
You know what else I noticed about this Walmart case too was like every maybe I'm reading too far into it, but every story I've seen emphasizes the fact that the guy who held him until the police officers came to arrest him was a firefighter.
Right.
And he's actually a retired firefighter, former fire. Like it has no significance to the story. The guy's just a concealed carry.
Well,
guy.
yeah, he's a first responder, though. That makes it
that's-
all the difference.
See, that's
Oh,
the
yes,
thing. It
that
seems
does
like they're
make
trying
all the
to
difference.
imply like he's some kind of officer, or like he's some kind of law enforcement.
Well, duh. It's to argue that
He's
he
just
has
a guy.
authority. He knows better.
Right. He's just a guy, but it's like they're trying to take this angle, like, oh, he's some special trained man who basically is law enforcement. So it's all fine. It's as though they're trying to. Well, I mean, it's not as though to me, it seems like they are trying to obfuscate the idea that it's just a guy. It's a quote unquote good guy with a gun who neutralized this whole thing. If
But
there
he's
was
an
something
extra
to neutralize,
special good guy.
which is debate in itself.
Well, it is what it is.
It's like if it was like office worker holds man until police arrive. Like you would never put that in. They put like retired firefighter for some
Trump supporter.
reason. Yeah, Trump's presumably.
Yes, well, if it was a Trump supporter, it'd definitely be in there. Especially
Although
if
Trump is
something
going to
went
lose
wrong.
me on this, dude. Trump
Well-
is.
Yep.
Just one thing you got to remember about Trump. Trump says a lot of crazy stuff as negotiating ploys.
Yeah.
Until they really start getting serious. Until I start seeing bills being moved through the Senate, where I start hearing about executive orders being drafted, then I'm like, yeah, it's a lot of talk.
Yeah, I will withhold judgment until papers are signed. But he's saying really dumb stuff right now.
Yeah, well, he says really dumb stuff all the time. I mean, it's kind of like you got to take the good with the bad with Trump. It's kind of, it's in a perfect world, I'd like something a little bit better, but it's the best we got right now, and it certainly beats the hell out of the alternative.
Does
mean,
it,
if Hillary
though?
Clinton,
Like,
if Hillary Clinton was president right now, we probably would have had an executive order banning all assault rifles.
Not only
We would
that,
probably be seeing laws passed through like California right now saying that, well, if you want to buy ammo, you're going to have to go through a complete background check.
Mm-hmm.
And
not to mention higher tax rates, unemployment would be skyrocketing.
Exactly. I mean,
I'm going to be just depressed about it if it gets to the point where I say, okay, well, between two candidates who are going to diminish the Bill of Rights, I guess I'll take the one who will diminish the Bill of Rights slightly less.
The thing is, people have been diminishing the Bill of Rights since the damn thing was written.
I know.
I mean, you take the good with the bad.
It's disheartening because it's like that's the one reason I voted for him: protect the Bill of Rights and put judges in place who will do the same. That's basically.
But he is putting judges in place that will do the same because Trump could be also. Now, here's the thing. Here's something to think about with Trump, though. Now, if you're president of the United States and you can pass an executive order that will make some people happy and get off your backs, but it's not going to stand up to test in the courts because you appointed the judges, or you might even talk to the judges.
Is the ultimate 4D chess angle.
The guys negotiate. Here's the thing. When you're running major projects and all this other stuff, you got to do a lot of planning ahead. And I'm not saying it's 4D chess. I mean, but the man isn't stupid. I mean, that's the biggest thing about Trump. Everybody, he's not dumb. And now, whether this is a 4D chess move, whether it's something he's saying to pat the Democrats on the head and say, "Oh, God bless your little hearts. We'll talk about red flag laws. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about that." And 2 months later, like the Epstein thing could knock all this stuff off the front page.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it right now. We had all the shootings, but now we've got Epstein, and nobody's talking about laws.
So many memes.
And hey,
good Lord.
And look at this. I mean, you know what I hate most about Epstein? You know what pisses me off about all this is I've had to agree with Cenk Uygur, AOC, and this one's going to hurt. Alyssa Milano.
Oh,
what did they
say?
Bad.
They all tweeted out that this is suspicious and we really need to investigate and find out what's going on.
I will not. And
I have to agree with them.
Conspiracy theories or whatever. Come on, it's obvious there's more to this story.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're not saying it's a conspiracy theory. They are saying, you know what? We really need to investigate this shit and find out what the hell goes on because this sounds kind of fishy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jink, I have to agree with you now. That hurts. That bothers me on so many levels. And I'm like, Alyssa, I have to agree with you now. That hurts on so many levels. Now I'm going to do it because I'm a big boy and it's the right thing to do, but it still hurts.
I appreciate all the memes circulating there. Like the same federal government that can't keep one guy alive on suicide watch should be entrusted to manage your health care, and you shouldn't be able to defend yourself. They'll take care of you, but they can't keep one freaking Jeffrey Epstein alive.
My favorite one, I just sent it to you. My favorite one that I've seen so far.
Oh, look. All right, let me see.
Did you see the guy who edited Wikipedia?
That was pretty funny.
See the edited Wikipedia page about Suicide Watch?
Oh, I sent it to you too. I sent that one to you too, dude. Come on.
That was a thing of beauty, man. I mean, that was just like that was just hilarious.
Intensive monitoring process used to ensure that anyone except Jeffrey Epstein cannot attempt suicide.
Somebody's going down in internet history for that one. I mean, that was.
There were like 100 edits on that Wikipedia page.
I know.
When I saw it the other day, I looked at it as like insane.
It's a thing of beauty. I mean, I just salute.
Well, what's the lead? Okay, I haven't read that much into this. I know enough to know that, like, on the surface, it doesn't make much sense. But what is the preferred theory about what really went down here? What's the most sensible explanation? Was it Clinton's side? Was it somebody else? What are we looking at?
Nobody knows. That's the thing. There's everybody shouting right now.
There's way too many
theories. Yeah, exactly.
Clinton and Trump. It was all of them.
It was everybody.
Well,
it's the one
when
thing
you've
we can all
got that
do
many
together.
people with that much money, and a couple of people are government level players, it's six. If you want to say it's anybody in the world, from the Russians to the Chinese to the Germans to, whatever, the English, I don't care. I have no clue. So I'm never going to know the answer to this, and I can live with it.
Did they give an official story on? I know he supposedly hanged himself, right? That's what they say, or strangulated himself one way or another. Is there any explanation on What did he use? A belt? Because aren't the sheets supposed to be like the
No,
sheets are not able to support that much weight or something, and then the bed can't be moved?
Well, I've heard in Suicide Watch they don't even give you sheets.
Okay, so
Yeah, they're like paper, is what I was reading.
Is there any explanation about what he actually used to do it? Then is that out, or is that not explained?
No, I haven't seen anything on it yet. They haven't really given a press release yet.
Maybe he tried to swallow his pillow.
Yeah.
They apparently, I didn't see this because I didn't get home till later yesterday. Apparently, early when the news was breaking, there were images circulating on Twitter of the actual body like being taken out. There was like purple Epstein pictures floating around, so it would seem. So you actually saw it. Did it look pretty legit? So it looked like he had died of suffocation.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
But he was like purple. It looked like he was
purple.
grape or something, like Joffrey style.
Yeah.
Or I guess you don't watch Game of Thrones, but you know.
Oh, and just in case anybody's listening right now, I'd like to say that I have absolutely no information on the Clintons whatsoever, and you know, I know nothing about them. I don't have a desire to know anything about them, and you know, and I'll just sit here and I will never talk about the Clintons again as long as I live.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people tweeting similar things.
Rip homeless person with physical attributes similar to Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, that would be
You're
great
what?
if it was a fake, a hoax, and he's just
The whole.
he got escaped somehow. Did a body
Well,
swap.
I was wondering what happens to Pedo Island. What do they do with it? Who inherits Pedo Island? Because he doesn't have kids, does he?
He's probably got a wife.
He might have a will out there somewhere.
Yeah. Who gets Pedo Island? What is to come of it?
I leave it to my best friend, William Jefferson Clinton, and his lovely wife Hillary.
Oh, that's cold.
You know, somebody posed this idea to me long ago, and I still support it. It's like if Pedo Island was not an island for pedophiles to go to indulge in their pedophilic excesses. Instead, Pedo Island was a place of justice for convicted pedophiles, whereby they all had to battle to the death for everyone's entertainment. Make a reality show called Pedo Island, where there's some sort of, you know, it's like battle to the death stuff. Let's do that.
Somebody just sent me a screenshot of.
I'm the king of Pedo Island.
Hey, Matt. Somebody just sent me a screenshot of a tweet and says Jeffrey Epstein hung himself with Jesse Smollett's noose.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I saw that. That's
Except for Jesse Smollett's noose was real, though. At least the one that he used for the hoax.
oh boy.
It's amazing that they're already on cover-up. Like, one of the trending tags is Epstein suicide cover-up.
Well, if I'm to believe that he committed suicide, I need some explanation about how. I mean, you can't. Yeah. What did he do? Just choke himself with his hands? This doesn't make any sense. How did he?
And I've got a few questions myself, like, you know, how did the cameras go down? How did he know that the cameras went down at the right moment? How did he know the guards weren't going to be walking you around?
He's turned them off.
The camera thing was debunked.
Oh, I thought it was legit. What did they say?
No, I was saying that it was like
I haven't seen anything
person
about it being
claiming on
debunked
Twitter, and there was no source really.
So okay. Well, let me.
Yeah, I haven't seen it being debunked, but you could be right.
I don't think they don't really generally release information like a day after it happens. Doesn't it take time?
I guess maybe maybe
That's why I'm kind of waiting for everything to calm down
soon.
before I believe anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a good explanation, but I'm not inclined to believe media reports either. You know.
Mm-hmm. I'm just curious, why did they take him off suicide watch? I mean, and
yeah, what was it, a week ago or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in charge, but it seems a little shoddy to me. Or
I even heard conflicting that. They said it was like the day of. And
yeah, I mean, it's
6 days ago or something, or 2 weeks ago.
Well, it's either incredible stupidity on someone's part, which could be the case, or it was somebody who just decided, hey, I can't afford to have this guy around. And
which there are a lot of people in that position.
A lot of people in that position, I mean. And
which seems more likely.
Yeah. You know, and if you think about it too, if your net worth is in the billion range, and you give somebody $10-20 million to look the other way or do or do something, that's like pocket change almost. That's like having that's like having a couple of having like a couple of $1,000 and giving somebody $20 to take care of a problem for you.
Yeah.
But for the rest of us down here in the real world, that's a hell of a lot of money. So I don't know. I just don't know. It's
according to Heavy. Yeah, you're right. Heavy's reporting Jeffrey Epstein camera malfunction. No proof for rumor, but other questions remain. So it was some blue check who like threw this out there yesterday morning, and it has not been verified.
Okay.
Well, we'll find out as much as they're going to let us know. So, and then we'll have great conspiracy theories about it, like the Kennedy assassination.
This is
for
going
the
to
next 100 years. I mean, this is going to be great.
Yeah,
it's going to be like the moon landing and the Kennedy assassination.
Yeah, we're going to have our very own Warren Commission and everything.
Yep. History Channel. We'll be doing reenactments on the 30th anniversary, and
so what? The other angle here is like all these people implicated in some of these civil suit documents, but presumably if they were implicated, that stuff will continue, right? Just because Epstein's dead doesn't mean those things go away.
I don't know if they still have to release it to the public though. I mean, I don't know. I'm not. Law's not my field, so I don't know if they have to release it to the public or if they can just say, "Well, we're just going to close everything up and seal it up."
Yeah.
But I don't know. Would be kind of funny if it turned out the Clintons did it, though. I mean, I got to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I said it would be kind of funny. I'd just be sitting there saying,
I mean, all the Hillary memes with the glasses and the mustache.
Right, that was hilarious.
And Alex Jones standing out in the middle of a field with his fist raised in the air and yelling, "Vindication!" It's just... Oh, God. I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, though, but is anybody else besides me getting tired of living in interesting times?
Well, I do
that ancient Chinese curse is not been the greatest to us lately.
I'd probably enjoy it more if I didn't live in, like, near DC, where all the shit's going to go down when it goes down.
You have my sympathies.
Josh,
when the shit hits, hey, listen, when the shit hits the fan, head west as fast as you can and don't stop until you get to, like, Iowa.
That's my plan.
Seriously.
It's not called shit. It's
go all the way to
called
California.
Josh,
just don't go too far.
what does 22 Colbury look like? Wait, how do you say Colbury?
It's 20 grain projectile.
Oh, so it's tiny.
Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's real tiny. Basically, it's just got it's got the primer in it. That's it.
Apparently, he's been shooting it, and we never heard it.
Huh.
Smart ass.
Oh, it's kind of like a BB then.
Yep. Hold on. That's basically what it looks like. It almost looks like a little...
yeah. I've seen those.
Yeah. They're really quiet. 420 feet per second.
Oh, yeah. That's just a step up from a pellet gun.
Yeah. Actually, a little bit softer than a pellet gun by some day standards. Some of them are like 750 to 900 feet per second.
Yeah, I think I saw one the other day. It was in like 1,100 feet per second range. So,
jeez.
It looked pretty impressive. But
sorry, Bear.
Wow. Wow. But the other thing would be interesting to find out is that Epstein faked all this. He had a body double and
Interesting.
kind of like that guy in Brazil who had his daughter replace him, the midget drug lord who tried to escape from jail that way. That was
So our new Elvis then.
Yeah.
Spotted in various locations and diners all across the country.
Yeah. According to the Angel of Death doing Good Omens, that he just never had the heart to take Elvis. So supposedly Elvis is working in a diner here in Iowa. So who knows? Maybe I'll run into him one of these days.
I don't know. I ran into 10 of them in Vegas. So.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of Elvis. Yeah, when Lori and I were talking. But
maybe this is the thing that unites the country.
What, the Epstein conspiracy?
It might. It might. Gives us all something to...
It's just us versus the elites now.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people are starting to see it that way.
Wow, Epstein cover-up is trending, you're right. They shut down Clinton body count and Clinton side fairly quickly yesterday.
Yeah.
But it did go for a while.
Yeah, they
When I
do
got home,
trend,
it was
didn't
still
they?
trending.
Yeah, and they replaced it with Trump body count, which I was like,
Oh yeah,
that seems kind of
5
interesting.
people
yeah.
were
Like
tweeting.
1,000 people tweet Trump
Yeah, I
body
know.
count and it trends. That's legit.
Yeah, and I'd just like to be Jack for a couple of days and have Twitter at my command. Just say, yeah, we're gonna try something different here.
Yeah, we're just gonna shut all this shit down and let things go.
Yeah, we're gonna shut down the social media shit for a while. Everybody take a break. Go home. Chill out, spend some time with the kids.
Fix a mimosa.
Maybe go outside. Yeah, it's. Yeah, speaking of which, my mint plant finally came in, so I finally made my first mint julep.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna do the mimosa. No, what is? I think it's not the mimosa. It's the what's the one with the rum and the mint? Mojito. That's next on the list. So I strongly recommend it. Buy yourself a mint plant. Do a little muller. Get a little muddler thing. Raise a few mints and have at it. It's quite tasty.
I really only like mint in like cookies and ice cream kind of stuff.
Oh, it's great with bourbon.
I never really like it in drinks too much.
No, each his own.
Although it does pair well with watermelon a lot of the time.
Yeah, I've never had it with watermelon.
Yeah, like one time at this restaurant I worked at, we made like a watermelon gazpacho, like a cold soup. It was like a minty watermelon soup. It's pretty good actually. But as far as like mint alcohol drinks, I don't know. Never really been into it.
What is your alcohol of choice?
I rarely drink liquor. Pretty much never anymore. But if I'm going to, it's usually tequila or gin if I want to be a little classier.
Oof. I can't hang with you.
I hate whiskey. I can't stand whiskey.
No, you've just never had
Scotch
good
is my
whiskey.
liquor of choice.
No,
That's-
I've tried my fair share. I hate them all. But the thing is, I hate Montana whiskeys even more. There are a lot of local distilleries, and they're awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bullet bourbon, man. I'm telling you, it's pretty good.
I do like my Scotch.
Yeah,
And
Scotch.
I like my bourbon too, though. I'm trying to. One of these days, I'm going to get enough people together so I can buy a barrel of whiskey from Jack Daniels.
Oh, the best thing ever is bourbon barrel aged beers.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
well,
Garrett,
if you
did
get
you
enough
ever get
people together,
that
you can buy a barrel.
Buffalo Trace?
Yeah. I got quite a few bottles of that. It's very good.
What's that?
Buffalo
Another-
Trace bourbon.
Oh.
Yeah, another bourbon. Yeah, that's one I'd recommend as well. Knob Creek's pretty good. I like the Knob Creek rye. I just found a bottle of that while I'm working in Baton Rouge. That shit's good.
The Knob Creek Rye.
Mm-hmm.
You should try, if you like rye whiskey, try Templeton Rye. It's made it's made here in Templeton, Iowa, and it is the exact recipe that Al Capone had his whiskey made to, and that was its big selling point. They found the old Prohibition recipe for rye whiskey, and they started making it and bottling it. It's actually not bad.
I know High West.
It's got a little history.
is
And I like a little history myself.
Yeah. I know High West is a very popular one, but it's almost $100 a bottle. So it's like, nah.
Yeah, it's getting a little out of my price range.
Yeah. I had it once. That's good.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to be able to go someplace. I like it that more and more bars are getting a good selection of bourbons and a good selection of scotches and a good selection of Irish whiskeys and the rums and everything else, because I don't want to go out and spend $500 on a bottle. I can't afford it, or even $2,000, but I can afford on a special occasion $30 to $40 for a glass of whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
And some of that stuff, I got to admit, I've tried some of it. Some of it's really good. And you're like, yeah, I can understand why people pay this much money. And other times I'm like, my God, this is crap.
How do you
This is
take it?
crap. I can't. Whiskey, I usually drink it with just a little bit of ice water in it.
Yeah.
And, just a little tiny bit of ice water. With my bourbon, I like one good-sized cube. And I just like to swirl it around the glass a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But to each his own, too, because I've known people who don't like any water with their scotch whatsoever, even though the distilleries in Scotland say that's the way you're supposed to drink it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people who don't like it unless it's on the rocks. It's I think it comes down to your personal preferences.
Well,
Plus, I got to be honest, I don't have the taste buds, so I can't distinguish a lot of the flavors that most people can. So
right.
that could be it. That has a big part to do with it too.
And the whole point of using water is to open up the flavors. It swirls
Yeah,
it up.
it really does. And it helps if it's really cold. You know, I found that just borderline, right at the melting point, it's just a little bit, and it's like, wow, that's really good. And but again, it's to everybody's own, because I don't. I found out I don't have the same sense. I guess it's a good survival skill. I don't have as many taste buds as most people do, so I can't taste a lot of the stuff that people are saying. Oh yeah, and you should have a hint of this and a hint of that, and a hint of that. And everybody's like, yeah, I can actually taste this shit. I'm like, are you out of your mind? I can't taste it.
A lot of that stuff is just elitist bullshit anyway.
A lot of it is elitist bullshit. Some
total
of it
power suggestion.
Yeah, and other times, well, when people are talking about food and stuff like that, and they say I've added this ingredient, you should be able to taste it, but you shouldn't really. It shouldn't be very overpowering.
Yeah.
You know, it's because, and it does, and it is like that. But most of the time, like I grew up. I'll give you an example. I grew up and I could never understand the commercials where they were talking about how margarine tasted exactly like butter. Where people are saying it tastes you'll be almost convinced it's butter, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, why? They taste exactly the same. I don't understand what the hell you're talking about. I really don't understand what the hell you're talking about here. And people talking about and I'm like, I can't tell the difference between the generic and the main brand. Now I learned later working in the food industry that there are little extra ingredients that are added to the from the generic to the main one, but I can't tell the difference in the taste. But I know people who in a blind taste test can tell the difference. So, you know, to each his own.
Well, the one thing I will say, Matt, is I'm glad you don't drink draft beer on the stream.
Well, I don't have anywhere to get it. Like, I don't have my own bar here. You know.
You don't have a kegerator?
No.
We could totally make you one.
I wish I
plus,
lived
I don't want to buy kegs and stuff.
What is it, Baltimore? So I can get some pita tears from Jimmy's Seafood.
I'm going through right now and trying to block out the names on Joaquin Castro's stupid list because I don't want to perpetuate his doxing bullshit, even though it's already out there. God,
And it backfired on him too.
Well, I'm trying to think as I do this because, like, about the definition of doxing. Now, I even before this, I don't think doxing requires information to be strictly private per se.
I thought it did, but I guess delineating that is important.
Public, like campaign contributions are public, but the point is it was compiled and assembled for a particular reason. Like your address and your landline phone number back in the day, if the phone book, that's not necessarily private information either, in the sense that it's publicly available. But if you assembled a list of names and phone numbers for the purpose of like calling them and saying "fuck you," that would still be a doxing effort, would it not?
Yes, it would, in my opinion. But we have to remember that the left plays by a different rule book than we do.
I enjoy watching him struggle to explain why the hell he did this. It's like, oh, I didn't do it for that reason. I didn't do it for this reason. Okay, why though? Why did you do it? Oh, just awareness of like who's out there. It's like all these nonsense things he said that don't explain why you would put people's names out there in the way that he did.
It sounds like he just had a dumb idea and pushed it through.
Well, I think it was a publicity stunt now, because all of a sudden on every other commercial I'm seeing now, because we're getting ready to hit primary season, because the election never ended here, is I'm seeing a Castro commercial, like almost Castro and Tom Steyer.
For Julian?
Oh, yeah, for everything. I'm seeing him now when I'm watching Hulu. I'm seeing him in the morning when I get up to watch my morning news show. And I'm like, come on, guys. I mean, I've been watching these campaign commercials since Trump was elected, and even before that, the election never ended here. And it's not going to end. It's not even going to end after the primaries.
Where's the state fair in Iowa where they all go?
Oh, it's right here in Des Moines. It's only about it's like about a 20-minute drive from here.
Have you gone down there yet?
Nah, it's. I was going to go down to East Side tonight, but then I realized I'm no longer fighting trim anymore, and that's when my people get together, and it's kind of like, we get drunk and rowdy, and so you can get thrown into jail. But I'm too old for that now.
Joe Biden is lighting it up with the gaffes all over Iowa right now.
Yeah, that's the other reason I didn't want to go down there too, because I was worried when I was down at the farmers market. I was worried yesterday that some of the guys running for president were going to show up, and I'm like, don't screw up my Saturday. Don't screw up my Saturday. I got to get down here. I got to get some sauerkraut. I got to get some catnip for the cat. I got to get sweet corn. I mean, just don't wreck my day.
Does it impact traffic, or is it just?
It does, but we're kind of used to it.
Hmm.
And they don't have the security level. Now, if Trump were here campaigning, that would be a totally different thing. Because the main reason he doesn't really come to Des Moines that much. He'll go to Cedar Rapids, or the Quad Cities, is because they don't block up traffic as bad as they would in Des Moines. Because our airport is almost is not, well, it was when they built it was way out in the country. Now it's like the city's grown up to it. So when Air Force One lands here, it's like it's a major event. Fleur Drive gets closed down, and it's a hassle for everybody. And the Secret Service doesn't like it because I guess it's not as easy to secure as it is to other areas are. So, but God, being the first caucus in the country, it's like it just gets a little wearing after a while. It just doesn't. It never lets up. And the other thing I'm going to do is, I swear to God, 4 years from now, I'm going to rent an old barn. I'm going to start selling blue denim work shirts, denim pants, and really funky-looking, bad-looking belts and boots to all these assholes who want to run for president. And get an old pickup truck so they can rent it and drive around the state. And
get a Mexican sombrero and a mustache. That way they think they're supporting an illegal.
Yeah, well, no, but all of them wear the same thing when they come here, except when they're in Des Moines or something. Now wear the same uniform. It's like, a work shirt, blue jeans, cowboy boots, and a really ugly looking belt. And I'm like, except for Kamala Harris.
Every American.
Well, actually, most of the time you don't wear cowboy boots because we're not cowboys here, we're farmers. And cowboy boots really don't work when you're out in the field. I mean, they just don't. It's if now guys who have horses or something like that, because there are people who ride and there are people who raise horses and stuff here. Yeah, but for the majority of people, we're soybean farmers. We're soybeans, pigs, and corn. And you're gonna wear a good solid work boot. So it's one of the little things we like to joke about. It's like, yeah, these guys really don't know us. And the other great mysteries, when people are saying you can't get almond milk here, and it's like, yeah, go to Hy-Vee. And I swear to God, there are people here that I've ran into who think that that this is the most backward part of the United States they've ever been to. And I'm like, yeah, we're backwards because we only got like 10 Starbucks instead of 200. I mean, we've only got two Caribou coffees in Des Moines instead of 30. And I'm like, come on, give me a break,
When you were saying Castro's thing backfired, what did you mean by that? Because I haven't seen.
Trump had let's see, the guy who owns the restaurant, the barbecue place. Yeah. There are people standing in line now. It's like Chick-fil-A, man. People are still.
People went to support him.
People are getting more business. All this other stuff, It's like this. That's like the people who decided they were going to cancel their memberships at the gym for the overprivileged white women and the spin cycle classes and stuff. Yeah. Well, for one thing, from what I guess, is that the spin cycle classes always have long waiting lists because those aren't membership things. They're Soul Cycle is not a membership thing. You just go in there and pay $35 to ride.
Oh, that's it.
But
that's expensive if you pay that every time. Jesus. Yeah.
But when the class is filled up, the class is filled up. So less people, more people get a chance. So what they've done is actually a good thing. More people can go and ride the cycles.
Yeah, and of course the business doesn't care if all the slots are filled. It's only until slots aren't filled that they have to start dropping prices.
Yeah, and let's see, they were talking about it today. I don't have the exact numbers, but I guess the fundraiser in the Hamptons raised like $2 million more than they were originally projecting to raise. Oh, I'm like, okay, so Trump gets more money. People who would normally not get a chance to ride at these spin cycle places are going to get a chance to ride at these spin cycle places, and people who've been waiting on a waiting list to join these really ritzy gyms are now going to be able to join these really ritzy gyms because the Hollywood elite are canceling their memberships. So I see this as a win for everyone.
It's hard to see who loses, except it's people who lose. I think we all lose eventually if we follow this template. That's why I don't know. I don't want to wave the white flag on avoiding Starbucks and avoiding Nike and avoiding all the things I avoid for the same reasons. But I guess they're not the same reasons though, because those companies put their politics in my face, whereas Soul Cycle and Equinox are not overtly political. They just were exposed as supposedly political, even though they're not. It was just an investor.
Yeah.
But the point is, like, I don't want to live in a country where we're always having to vet, like, if the politics of the store owner is aligned with mine or not.
I know.
It's just like, who cares? Do they make a good product or service, or don't they? I just
Well,
want
it's
to go back
not
to
the
that.
boycott too when you don't use the thing. I mean, I'm like, gee, maybe I should boycott this company because they're mean to me and mine, but I don't use them anyway. So what I'm going to do is start buying products from. I don't go to Starbucks. Yeah. I mean, I don't. I go to Caribou because I like their coffee.
I think Caribou's coffee is awesome.
Yeah,
I
really like their coffee.
And I don't think I've never heard anything political from them.
No, they're just kind of, Caribou doesn't care. They make all their money at the drive-thru. So they've got, you walk in there, you buy a cup of coffee, you can sit there all day and use the internet, and they'll give you free refills all day long. Yeah. And I asked them about it, and they're like, don't care. It's good for business. We see people inside here because we make all the money in the drive-thru. I'm like, good to know. But I think also,
sorry,
go ahead.
I was just saying that I have to hold myself to a standard too, where it's like, if someone else's politics get quote unquote exposed, I will not care. You know what I mean? Like, let's say tomorrow that Caribou, for example, some right-wing organization exposed that the Caribou CEO or someone on the board donated to Hillary. I have to say, I would not give a shit in that situation, because that person did not put their politics in my face or try to virtue signal for my business. It's just
That's
like they as a private actor supported her politically. I don't
even
care.
With Starbucks.
Okay.
I would have never known about all the political stuff if I didn't watch your show.
Yeah.
I never heard anything outside of online commentators.
Well, I know the
Nike
case of
has.
the two black guys was on national news for sure.
Yeah, that made national news, but that was about it.
Yeah. I wonder how they're doing with their free educations at Arizona State. I wonder how that's going.
Well, and then this goes back to the thing with Benchmade. I mean, most of these companies, when you get to a certain size, you have to play both sides of the aisle just so you can stay in business.
Is this the knife company, or who are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to play nice with both sides, so that way whoever's in power you have good favor with. So
what was their scandal again? They supported some anti-2A people.
No, they cut up firearms from the police.
Oh, that's what it was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember now.
And really, they're just a company providing a service. Now, whether they provide it free of charge or not is their business. But if you, would you be upset if the local police, because a lot of small towns here in Iowa, and the county does have to destroy weapons occasionally, and I think they contract through a couple of local gun stores to see that they're destroyed. So, should you stop going there because they're destroying weapons, or, what do you do? I don't care anymore. It's like I'm going to buy what I want to buy. I just want to be left alone, but I'm going to buy what I want to buy from who I want to buy it from. Mm-hmm. And as long as I'm not breaking any laws, it's nobody else's business.
Well, yeah, I think that's why a lot of these companies are doing it now. Is because I feel like people on the right and centrist, they don't care what you.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
They want to hit one demographic, and then it's also the media is so crazy that if they put out something like this, they get free publicity.
Yeah. Now I did stop using Gillette, but that's because I tried the Dollar Shave Club. I heard people hawking. Yeah, I decided I'd give it a shot. It was $5.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll try something for $5 because I got to be honest, the Gillette blades are pretty. Gillette blades and the razors are pretty expensive.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I was using Harry's.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa, I like this stuff.
Yeah, I went Dollar Shave Club too.
Yeah, so it's so I was like, okay, I'll go with that because, I'm at the point where I don't need to shave every day, so I can order four razors every 2 months and cost me $9, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like,
those razors last like a whole month shaving every day. I've never had a problem with making them go a long time.
Yeah, I usually I can get 2 to 3 weeks out of them, but it works out really good for me, and so I was figuring, hey, why not? It's cheaper.
How is the Harry's? Is it pretty decent blade? Because I see Walmart's been carrying.
I like it.
I'll have to try them out.
I like it.
It looks like Gillette is suffering pretty badly. They're one of the people that I guess maybe are going broke.
Yeah.
I think Tim Pool was suggesting that they were
it's been
going
argued
broke
that it's not
long
because they're
before.
going woke. It's just that they're getting a lot of competition now from Harry's and from Dollar Shave Club and those guys. That's been a long time coming.
Yeah, because for the longest time, it was them and
It could be
Wilkinson.
multi-factor, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Tim Pool was saying, is that they've been going broke for a long time now.
Well, when you get to the point where it's like where your blades are $3 a piece, and it gets expensive, and I mean money's tight. I can buy a couple of boxes of ammo for what I save on shaving razor blades now, so I'm happy,
Yeah.
or other things, but I think you're right though. Tim Pool was talking about it. Gillette might have been going broke, and they decided to go woke to try and save the company.
Or at least buy another quarter of Buzz, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know in this world. You just never know. It's complex.
Well, and it gets so exhausting too. Like, I decided I was going to avoid Gillette generally. I'm not going to buy their products, and it's like, well, shit. Because when I was researching for writing videos about that stuff, it's like, well, the Procter & Gamble CEO is arguably the worst of them all. When you listen to him talk, he says bizarre things about just Orwellian topics. Like, we as a company, Procter & Gamble, have a major role to play in influencing people's thoughts on social issues and da-da-da-da. Bizarre things from the Procter & Gamble CEO, who's a tier above Gillette in the company structure. It's like, oh man, am I going to avoid every Procter & Gamble product? Because that's like half the toothpaste and shampoo in the damn world.
Yeah.
And it's always like, the personal cost of trying to be so principled is just exhausting. It's like, But
you think it's bad for you? Imagine how tough it is to be an SJW.
Oh, God.
I mean, seriously.
I don't want to live that life. Yeah, I don't want to be perpetually outraged.
Because somebody tweeted out a few weeks ago, they were saying, I just don't shop with Amazon anymore because we're always boycotting them, and I never know what the boycott's going to be about, so I just decided I'm never going to shop with them again. And I'm like, okay, you do you. But, that's because we never know what we're going to be boycotting next. I mean, my God. And what are you going to do when your substitutes screw up? Because bottom line, Target is based out of Minnesota, and they're a pretty conservative company. They're started by the Dayton family. And
in some ways, but they also have the trans bathroom thing.
Yeah, but here's the thing about the Daytons. There was a line about them when they owned a hotel. It said the only thing they worried about is a customer having sex with an elephant in the room. Was that it took a little extra time to clean the sheets? You had to pay overtime.
Yeah.
So for them, it's about the coin. If having trans bathrooms puts more coin in the Dayton family's pockets, then by God, we'll have trans bathrooms. And if holding a homosexual wedding in the middle of the Target store puts more money in our pocket, we'll do that because by God, we're capitalists, and I can really respect that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, you were right, Matt. Fucking Procter & Gamble makes all the best shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's why you have to be careful about how far you're willing to go down these holes.
Yeah.
This Jessica Yan, this person what I'm talking about on the stream.
Yeah, I had to post that comedy. I just saw that tweet. I was just laughing my ass off.
Come on, this person has to be a troll at this point. Although he was rated, whatever. Rated, yeah, because of the taser.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a taser. It had nothing to do with any of the other stuff.
I know, it's unreal. In Canada, it's like, all right, you can borderline sexually solicit children, just don't have a taser.
Wait, what is this now?
So Jessica Yaniv, however you say it, the tranny who went after
the wax wanted her balls waxed basically.
Yeah,
he wanted her balls waxed.
Yes. Went on a stream. Did you see the clip this week? Went on a stream with Blair White. They just yelled at each other for an hour. I didn't finish it.
So it was basically the Candace Owens interview with her and Blair.
I don't know. It wasn't that bad. I don't think it was that bad, but it's like right towards the end, Jessica Yaniv pulls out a taser and is like, She's like, I don't have to worry about people coming and victimizing me in my home because I have this taser, but it's illegal in Canada. Just saying. And it turns out that the Canadian authorities raid her apartment because of this illegal taser.
Yep.
What the hell?
Meanwhile, as we've been talking about, she's all this why do I say she? He, this man in a wig, has been sending around messages to at least evidence has been emerging of a history of messaging really young people with sexually suggestive content, including in one case where she asked someone if she asked a young girl if she wanted to see the child porn that he accidentally clicked on Facebook.
I remember that part. I just didn't know about the new development.
So that's not worthy of like a law enforcement inquiry.
That was
but
doing like kids
well, it
only,
is Canada.
Yeah, they're a little screwed.
Like no top pool party or something.
Yeah.
All the pictures.
Shirtless pool party for young girls, no parents allowed.
Oh yeah, the town hall meeting where he was wanting that. Jesus.
Yep. Now, if you want to talk about somebody the Clintons need to suicide.
We need to repurpose their infrastructure for good.
Storm the Clintons, they can't suicide us all.
We just need to start a rumor that he has information about the Clintons.
There you go.
Yeah. What is this bit with the period, though? Why?
This creature is obsessed with them, apparently, about tampons.
Yeah.
And part of the thing
that
with the young people, they wanted to see them put their tampons in.
Yeah.
Ew.
But why is he saying my period all the time? Saying, oh, I'm on my period, or it's like, where do you put the tampon? In your pee hole or up your butt, or what are you doing with it?
Daisy Cousins did a video kind of condensing Blair's debate, and I guess Jessica Yavin is intersex, so has both sets of plumbing, and for lack of a better term, but from my understanding is even if you have both sets, it still doesn't. You just still don't have a period. So,
are they actually intersex?
I don't know. That's the thing.
I don't know that's.
I don't know.
Jonathan.
He said. Yeah, he does say he's intersex all the time, though. That's the thing. When he had I watched part of the transcript, one of the videos of him in the courtroom or whatever it is, the Human Rights Tribunal or whatever, kept saying he was intersex, and I'm like, okay.
No, they're lying.
But now we've got new words because back then we just said that was a hermaphrodite, and now it's intersex.
Term?
I don't know. Everything's changed, and it's driving me batshit crazy.
Is no longer a term either. That term.
I know. And
like
queer.
Back in my dad's day, when I talked to my dad about this stuff, that's what it was called. It was like transsexuals, but it was like that was a city thing. You never saw.
Yeah, it was.
Well, and they actually went all the way and had the operation.
Yeah.
All of it. Full on. This transgender thing that we're seeing now is just ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
this is a dude
because it's cool to be trans.
Yes, it is.
Trans.
Well, you hear these schools that are like, "Wow, I can't believe it! 10% of the student body is transgender or something."
Yeah, we went from 0.5% of the population. I don't know anymore.
My neighbor across the street, she's a teacher in the public schools where I live, and she teaches 4th grade. Apparently, there is a transgender kid in her class.
Here we go.
Oh my god!
And of course, it's all going to be documented.
I'm sure it's nothing to do with the parents.
Yeah, trans kids are like vegan cats.
I was looking through some old family photo album stuff the last couple of weeks, and just old pictures, and you're kind of embarrassed by how you used to look or what you used to do or whatever. And it's like, you're glad that none of that shit's on the internet. But it's all sort of understandable because it's like, everyone looked stupid in the 90s or whatever. Yeah. But imagine now where all this is documented, it's like, oh, God, you found my tranny pictures from 4th grade. It's going to be really bad. It's funny to laugh at, but it's going to be damaging,
Yeah. See, thank God I'm at the age I'm at because all we had to do was get a hold of the negatives and burn them bastards.
Yeah.
And there were some pictures of some negatives I burned. Yeah. I mean, it never happened.
The point is, you could. You had.
Yeah, I know. That was the great thing. I feel sorry for people today. I really do.
No, it's there forever, and it's going to be bad. That's going to have serious consequences in the future.
Yep.
Or imagine the potential for blackmail or something.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine a presidential campaign 50, 60 years from now when it's like, we have pictures of you when you were no longer Bob and you were Bobby. And you were going through your transition. What caused you to change your mind, Senator? And oh boy, God, you know,
I can't wait. I can't wait for the political campaigns of the future, because either these things are going to go away because basically everyone has all their dirt on display always, so it's like no dirt matters anymore, or it's just going to be an attempt to make things so over the top. I don't know which direction it will go. I guess I could see it going either way. That it could get so unbelievably low, or it could just be neutralized because everybody has nukes basically. So it's just it's peace through strength. You know?
Mutual
nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, mutually assured destructive kept things going for quite a while. You know, I mean, it's but I don't know anymore. I kind of look at some of this stuff and I'm like, my God, you actually published those pictures? Whoa, you got bigger balls than I do right there. It's going to come back and haunt you later, but hey,
literally and figuratively.
It's like, God, you know, and I think back to some of the things I did when I was in the military, and I'm like, thank God no one had a camera.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, and but what, you know, I just, God, and the obsession with documenting your life right now. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. So glad I'm an introvert.
It's a bit much.
I could just see like a CNN host going, "We see you never had a transgender experience. Can you explain?"
Yeah, that, you know what, that might be what actually happens. Yeah. That might be, you know, you never once questioned. No.
Yeah.
You're weird.
What's wrong with
you? Yeah.
You are not presidential material.
Yeah, you know.
Lack of event is called news now.
I got to prep for the stream, guys. But
all right,
good to discuss as always, and thanks for supporting, of course. And I'll be back on Monday night and Tuesday afternoon as well if you're around.
All right,
awesome.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Matt.
Later.
See ya. Have a good night.
Skull Vikings.
Yeah, they just got a new kicker. Did you see that?
Yeah, I know. I saw that. It was a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
got our ass handed to us, bastards.
And in the preseason, oh no.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
you know,
All right.
it is what it is.
Yeah. See you guys later.
Later.
Yeah.
See ya.
Come on now.